Hey, what's up everybody? It's David here from Tough Guys TV, and on this episode we have something really exciting to share with you guys. We were lucky enough to get our hands on this PWRCore 20 reciprocating saw from SKIL Power Tools. This thing is super awesome. We're gonna run through the initial unboxing so you guys can see what was in the box. Then I'm gonna run it through a few different tests, you could say, just different projects that I needed to do around the shop. We're gonna test the battery, we're gonna test the power, we're gonna throw some Diablo blades into the mix versus the blades that come in the box. All in all, I hope it's a video that brings you a great amount of value. I hope that you get to know this tool a little bit more. And if you're in the market for one of these, hopefully this will help push you to pick up one of these saws. It is awesome. Thanks so much for coming back. Let's jump right into this video. All right, here is the SKIL brushless 20 volt reciprocating saw kit. Now this kit in particular does come with the battery and the charger. Let's get this thing opened up. All right, the first thing I want to note is that this kit comes with the 4 amp hour battery. And where that may differ from some of my other videos that you've seen with the PWRCore 20 is that these are the 2 amp hours that have the USB charging directly integrated inside of the battery itself. On the 4 amp hour, it's a little bit different. So what they give you here in the box is an adapter that fits onto the battery. And with that in place, you'd be able to initiate the charge to 2 USB devices. Pretty cool. And you of course get the power jump charger as well. Looks like they've included a free wood blade, and you've got your instructions and your 5-year warranty card. Make sure that you're registering everything that you get. And here is the actual saw. And initially this thing is substantial. The weight is solid. Let me get this packaging out of the way so we can take a look and go through a quick overview of the tool. All right, I got the battery charging. It looks like it's good to go. Right here, you've got your orbital selector. So you can change the function of the blade here. Really quick and easy. Feels very sturdy. And up here on the front, you've got the pivot shoe. This does help you guide your blade, gives you some stability, and this does adjust. There's a couple of screws that are right here. And in order to loosen those, they've got you an Allen wrench, and that is right here. It is stored in the side of the tool. Easy storage, that way you don't lose it. On the side here, you'd have your serial number and information. Super nice rubber coated grip, feels very nice in your hand. And they do of course have the ability to lock this down. So if that is locked, you cannot pull the trigger. If you press it on the other side, then you're good to go. Now a quick note on the finish itself. This here, any of the red areas is like a nice hard plastic, but anywhere you notice the black color, it's actually a really nice rubber coated grippy surface. It feels really good and the weight is perfect. Last thing of course, let's put the battery on. So if you're new to this sort of thing, it's got some teeth here, which are gonna go into the grooves on the battery itself. Clips in place, you should have a nice sound like that. Check back here on the back to make sure it's charged up. You can see there the LED light on the front. Let's show how to put the blades in really fast. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the shoe off. I went ahead and loosened it with the Allen wrench. Now, I wanted to do that so we had easier access so you guys could see what's going on here. So what you wanna do in order to feed a blade into it is you're gonna twist this counterclockwise in order to open up, and then you're gonna insert the blade into the opening. Feed that in, and when you let go, give the blade a tug to make sure that it's good, and you're ready. All right, everybody, so now that we've gone through the unboxing and we've covered what is in this thing, we are going to start doing some test cuts. I'm also gonna start off by using the factory SKIL blade that comes with the package, and then after we've put some use into that one, we're gonna upgrade over to this Diablo blade. And this is just their 6-inch, actually it's their 9-inch pruning blade, or for fast, clean wood cuts. And for the testing we're gonna be doing today, that kind of blade is gonna do just fine for now. All right, let me show you really fast the setup we're gonna be using just to run through a bunch of different types of cuts. All right, we got our safety goggles, of course. We've got the SKIL reciprocating saw. We've got the battery, which is fully charged. There you go. And then I'm basically just gonna be clamping wood here to my workstation, and I'm gonna jump from different types of wood. We're gonna start with a 2x4, and I've got a 4x4, some 1x4s, another 2x4, some 1x, some plywood. I'm just gonna burn through as much of this scrap lumber that I have. And my helper for today, who are you, dude?
I'm Memphis, and this is extremely heavy.
What do you think of it so far?
It's cool. I'm ready to cut some stuff, and I still think it's heavy.
Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a digital timer, and then I'm gonna pause it whenever I'm not using the saw, and we're gonna see how much time we get out of this thing. are 4 minutes into use. That fourth light is actually out now, so it just shows 3. This is the pile of stuff that we were able to get off of this one 2x4. Made a good sized mess. So just to kind of show the speed of the blade that comes with it, it's pretty solid, but I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over now to this blade from Diablo. I think it's gonna be a little bit more efficient, especially as we move into the thicker wood cuts. All right, we got Memphis here. He is cleaning up some of the mess from the first draft. And we've got the Diablo blade installed, and we're gonna be doing the 4x4 next. We made quick work of the treated 4x4. Lots of cuts there, pretty much all together. And that was with the Diablo blade. Again, that's the 9-inch pruning fast clean wood cutting blade. And let's take a look at where our battery is. Looks like we are about halfway through the battery. And that is how much time I've clocked on the battery exactly. And I'm trying to be as accurate as I can, pausing it in between cuts. But 8 solid minutes, you've got lots of time in between that where you're kind of just walking around. So I'm gonna keep pushing this, see how far we can go. Well, since I do have a pruning blade on here, I figured that we need to clean up all this on the side of our garage. I thought it would be a good thing to do with this saw and blade together. I'm gonna start the timer again and I'm gonna keep it going. We're gonna try to clean up all this down the back of our shop here in the alley. All right, here we go, let's get it going. We got that cleaned up pretty good. I actually found all these pipes down there by the edge of the shop. So somebody's obviously been storing stuff there years ago, but we got everything over there cleaned up. The video footage said that I was out there for about 3 or 4 minutes total. So I'm gonna add that time to the original time. That brings us to about 12 minutes of usage. Let's check in on this battery now. So we're about halfway done with that battery. I'm gonna see if I can find some more ways to test this out and see if we can run this battery all the way to 0. All right, I have a couple of pallets that I've been needing to break down for a bit. Now for this, I'm gonna switch over to this blade here by Diablo. It is for nail embedded wood, because sometimes when I take apart the pallets, I like to leave these old nail heads in there. So I just kind of run the blade down behind these pieces. So we're gonna take this one apart. I'm gonna take this one apart. Got about half that battery left. Let's see if we can burn it down. All right, we've got that new Diablo blade set up in here. Let's go. We stopped that, it's another 4.5 minutes or so in. Let's take a look at where we are. Looks like we are on 1 line left on the battery. It kind of started to kick itself off a little bit, which I saw happen with the SKIL drill driver as well, with the PWRCore 20 when it started to get really, really low. So my guess is that it's getting very, very close. Let's see how much juice it has left. And we finally killed it. And that was our tally for this work. I'll put a total up here on the screen so you guys can see how much time I got out of that battery as far as total runtime. All right, now what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna charge this battery. I'm gonna put it on the charger and I'm gonna time that as well so we can see how long it takes to be fully charged. I know on the 2 amp hour batteries, it takes 30 minutes or so on that fast charging charger that SKIL makes. Let's get it charged up. We'll come back and finish this pallet. And here's that Power Jump charger, 4 amp hour battery. Let's put it on there. With that green light flashing, I know that it's charging. Let's set up another timer. Let's see what we got. All right, 51 minutes. Stop that. So this thing just finished charging, and it kind of makes sense. The PWRCore 20, the 2 amp hour batteries charge in about 25 or 30 minutes, so I figured this would be about twice as long. It's super easy to know when it stops as well because there's a fan that will run while it's charging, and I was just here in the shop doing some other stuff. I heard the fan stop and came over to stop the timer. So now that this is full, I'm gonna at least continue here taking apart these pallets, and then we'll come back for some final thoughts on this tool overall. All right, one thing I wanna show off that I haven't done yet is this charging mechanism that hooks onto the top of the battery. Now I do have another video recently on the SKIL blower, and we talked about the 2 amp hour batteries and how they can deliver a charge via this USB port on the back of them. Now with the 4 amp hour battery, it's a little bit different. They don't have a port added onto the battery itself. What they gave you is this adapter. So plug that into the top, got our USB cord, plug that in. Got my iPhone here, plug in the cable, and then we need to hit the power button on here to begin the charging process. And you can see the phone pops right up saying that it's charging. There is a second port, and you can see the light is on inside of there. If you wanted to charge 2 devices, not a bad setup here if you need to use this service. And all right, that wraps up this initial unboxing and review for the SKIL PWRCore 20 reciprocating saw. Now overall, I have to say I really do enjoy this saw. I think it's a great option, especially if you're in the market for one of these types of saws that is cordless. And of course, don't forget to pair it with a Diablo blade, in my opinion, the best blades on the market. Now, as far as what I really loved about this saw, just to kind of sum it all up, I really love the grip, the feel, the weight, the texturization of the outside of the saw. I do like that they have a place to store the Allen wrench that's used to adjust the front shoe. I also love that there is an LED light right in the end of the saw that easily brightens up any workspace that you're working at. And I also love that SKIL decided to go with the 4 amp hour battery with this in particular saw. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that they didn't integrate the USB charging directly into the battery. I'm sure there was a reason for that. Having that extra part, I think, could turn a few people off if they're looking for the ability to charge other devices because it's something that you could lose. Although it does work just fine, and you can charge 2 devices as opposed to 1 on the 2 amp hour battery. So with all that said, I give this thing my stamp of approval. I really enjoyed using this saw, and I think it's gonna be a great addition to our shop here. Thanks so much for checking out this video. I hope that you got some value out of it. I hope that if you were in the market for one of these type of saws, that this one helped you make your decision. Links below if you'd like to purchase one of these or any of the Diablo blades that I used in this video. Come check us out on social media if you wanna see what else we have going on here at Tough Guys TV. Thanks so much, see you in the next project.